Hello, this is Karen's Daily Creature Comforts for the day of May 18th, 2017. Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers. And it's such a joy to be able to work with you today. Look, we've got wonderful things going on in a 3-card spread. We have the Hierophant, and it's our renamed the Divine Guidance Hierophant in the typical Rider-Waite tarot decks. But anyway, we're coming from the King of Cups card, or Raphael. This is somebody who's honorable, refined, chivalrous, highly regarded, patroness of the arts, a peacemaker, father figure, or an interest in the healing arts. So that's where you're coming from. And you're trying to accomplish a great number of things. You want to create art or music. Lend a hand to those around you who need assistance. Can really trust who is driven by the heart. Wise and heartfelt advice really makes a difference. I'm supposed to say hello to someone out there that's been working too many hours. You need to pull back your energy. Reclaim your energy. Okay, so sometimes when we work on a project or something that takes a great deal of energy, our energy gets left behind, and then we feel empty when the project is over. So you need to have your awareness about where you're leaving your energy. If you're leaving it in your projects, then when you come home at night, you don't feel like you, because your energy is in your workplace. You're not calling back your energy. It's kind of an out-of-body experience. So we don't feel like us, or something feels wrong, or so that's a hello that somebody needs. Right, again, so it's the Hierophant card, number 5. So they're telling us that there's no reason to be alone. Maybe you're feeling alone. There's amazing people around you from whom you would gain strength and support. Seek out those who are like-minded and who share your beliefs and ideals. Make new friends who would benefit from your insight and affection. Take a class on spirituality, or join an organization that aims to do good in the world. And this is where we're going. We're going to the King of Ariel, which is King of Coins. So this is about material goods. Anytime there's coins, it's about material goods. That's probably not a surprise to anybody. They're talking about how there's so much abundance. Your plans are going to work out very well. The ability to manage finances and are matched with success. Advancement in your career is likely. You've worked very, very, very hard, and you need to take a break. Remember I talked about that first thing, that somebody out there is leaving their energy in their projects. And we can call back our energy if you can visualize a ball of light coming back in your space meaning your aura. And that's how we bring back our energy to us, how we draw it back. Oh, and then I wrote down some things that are good for the day. I wrote down, go to a park, write in a journal, take a walk, make plans with like-minded people, or conduct interviews. And now I want to hear, just very spontaneously, if the Supreme Being has anything else to say that would help enable us to have better days, a better day. So the verse, it's the Supreme Being is talking about cooperation, working with people. Somebody's afraid to work with people because they're afraid that they're going to be harmed in some way. Um, they're Yeah, not all people are good, but once in a while people need to take a leap of faith and actually entertain the idea. It's kind of like God, the Supreme Being will send you people to work with, and you have to figure out for yourself who is good and accept the kind offer that you're getting from the universe, because it's kind of like the rowboat. When you ask for God to help you and you let the rowboat roll past you, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. And something else here. I'm supposed to say something else. Yeah, then my old. Why are there so many people on the planet if we're not supposed to lean on somebody once in a while? The whole concept of trying to do things alone is silly, you know. Sometimes there's judgment about asking for help, but it looks like that's pastime energy. And they're suggesting that it's kind of like sometimes it's easier to do things all by yourself, but you're meeting two needs at once. You know, if you're isolated people, then you're getting out of isolation, and also you can always change your mind later if it doesn't. You know, just do a test venture and see if actually working with people isn't more making you more joyful. Then if it's not, just pull back. Yeah, it looks like sometimes sometimes we go back to our old patterns of doing things. If we were isolated as children, then you have to understand that maybe you didn't choose to be isolated as a child, so you have to break out and recreate yourself. Maybe that's not healthy. Maybe you should look at why it's not healthy, or just because you used to do it does not mean it's good or healthy for you. Or just because you were an isolated person in your former years in your childhood doesn't mean that that's necessarily good for you. It could be a past life where you were a monk. You don't need to be a monk. Why did you take a body if you want to be a monk? Because that's the closest you get to not having a body, because you're denying yourself. And denying yourself doesn't do anything. It just limits your capacity to have good in this life. I learned a long time ago that sometimes perceived failures are the opposite. Like, if we were on the wrong road, traveling the wrong path, then sometimes God will detour you to another path. And, it's not... The thing about life is that nobody sits on the sidelines like it's a tennis game and scoring you. Fortunately, that's not the way it is. So the idea that there's absolute success or absolute failure is a concept that kind of fades as we age, because for one thing, it's not realistic. And it's once the thing that psychics have the ability that most people don't have is their awareness to know of past lives, so that their perspective is wider than the average person. So knowing that you have karma with a particular individual might make you feel better about things resolving or ending or concluding, but not a failure. It's just, as people grow, other people leave your life. And if you were off your path, sometimes you just gently get guided back, or not so gently. And life sometimes throws us monkey wrenches. So just know that there's a bigger, you're too close to the forest to see the trees. Just know that the bigger picture, there's a bigger picture. I think that the 20-year-olds, not all 20-year-olds have tunnel vision, but they don't know that life isn't a perfect thing. And I always wonder how people do without, how people, I just wonder sometimes how single mothers do it and that kind of thing. But you're always protected by, by God, and your helpers on the other side, and they're always there for you at any given moment. So that's probably a lot to think about. But if you tuned in to this video, then that means that on some level you wanted a hello about those things. So thank you very much for being such a kind and generous audience, and I hope that this reading gives you some inspiration and makes your week better. Thanks again until we see each other again. Bye-bye.